Hello, I'm Candace Benji Small. Welcome to Eric's and my class, Crash Course in Assessing Library Instruction. I am head of research at William & Mary, but for 12 years I worked very closely with Eric at Radboud University when I was head of information literacy, and he is still head of research and assessment. So I'm going to kind of walk you through the course so that you know what to expect for our time together. The screen captures for this particular video will show April 2018, but know that no matter what month that we are actually holding the class, the setup is the same. So I'm here at the home page of Library Juice Academy, and the first thing I want to point out is the link to the facilitator contact information. If you have any questions about the class, feel free to email Eric or myself. Our email addresses are here on this page, and we will get back to you within 12 hours during the work week and 24 hours on the weekend. I'm going to go back and point out the next thing in our list is introductions. This is a discussion board that allows us to get to know each other, and it just asks you to write a little bit about yourself. There are some prompts. You can use as many or as few as you like, but just give enough information so that we can really start to build that sense of community that's so important in an online class. Just use add a new discussion topic to add your little autobiography. Next, we have a recommended book. This is not a required book, but if you want to learn more about assessing library instruction or want a plethora of assessment techniques, you can't go wrong with Melissa Bowles Terry and Cassandra Kavelna's Classroom Assessment Techniques for Librarians. Your library may already own a copy, or you can get it through a library loan, and it's also for sale through ALA. Then, if I scroll down, you will notice that you can only see 1 week at a time module. So we consider this class to be asynchronous within the week. And that's because what we have gotten from the feedback from our students is that the discussion boards and the opportunity to converse with each other is really one of the most valuable experiences for the students. And to do that, we really have to be we have to be talking about the same content. So it wouldn't be very helpful if some people did all their work in week 1 while other people got all the way to week 4 and then tried to go back and talk about earlier stuff and no one ever conversed with them about it. So to have that conversation, we release 1 module a week. Right now I'm recording for the April one, so you can see April 2nd through 8th, but if I went any further down, you would see that the future modules are closed down. Once again, we may be teaching during a different month, but it's set up the same way. So here we are in week 1, and we have the Intro to Week 1 module, which is this video, so good job. And then each module always starts with the learning outcomes. And our outcomes for week 1 is to give you an overview of the difference between assessment and research, identify questions to consider when planning an assessment project, and identify Kirkpatrick's levels of evaluation. Match student learning outcomes to the appropriate Kirkpatrick level, and explain the need to match student learning objectives to the appropriate assessment tool. So what I should say here is that Library Juice recommends that the class students should expect to spend between 3 or 4 hours a week on this class. And we're trying to cover, this is really a crash course in assessing library instruction. So what Eric and I have chosen to do is look at assessment in terms of picking the right type of project to measure what it is that you're interested in learning. And so for that, we use Kirkpatrick's level of evaluation. And you're going to read an article by Dominic Turnbow and Annie Kopinski, which really captures that idea of how are you making sure that the assessment project you're doing will capture what it is that you are interested in learning about. If I go back, you'll see then that there are 2 videos where Eric talks about the basics of assessment. I'm going to pull up one really quick, not so we can watch it, but I wanted to point out a couple really useful features in YouTube. If you go to the little cog setting here, you can, first off, you can speed it up. People just talk slower in a video than people usually want to hear, so I suggest bumping the speed up to 1.25 or 1.5, and you can also turn subtitles on if you're having any trouble hearing our videos. And that's available on all of the videos that we've created for this class. I'm going to go back. After you've watched the videos, you're going to read that seminal article by Dominic and Annie that talks about choosing the right tool for your assessment. Dominic and Annie also talk about a way of creating your learning outcomes using what is called the ABCD method, which is a little different from what you might have learned before about like the SMART goals or in order to goals. There are lots of different ways to write objectives. Some students really like the ABCD format, and if it works for you, run with it, right? We want this class to be useful for you, but if you prefer another way of writing your objectives, don't worry about that. What we're really concentrating on with this article is the Kirkpatrick level. Then I have a little video that talks about how we'll be using Kirkpatrick's level in this class. There's a short quiz, just a comprehension check to make sure that you understand, since it is such a foundational concept for the class. And then you'll have another discussion board post in which you will reflect a bit on the reading, and then you're going to post at least one reply to a classmate's post. So if you're the first one to post, you'll have to come back so that you can post to somebody else. And then each module will end with a supplemental reading list. Since we are limited in how much content we can provide and how many activities we can do each week, we wanted to give you options if you are very interested in doing a deeper dive into any topic, or if we touch on a topic that we assume you have some background knowledge on and you don't really. These resources can be very available for you, very valuable to you. Whenever possible, we have linked to a free source on these topics. Every now and then, we couldn't find anything that was free of copyright, and then we would put the reference so that you could get it from your library or through interlibrary loan. We can't, of course, post copyrighted materials onto the website. So with that, I will see you on the discussion boards, and I look forward to working with you this course.